Hello friends, you are welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Sri Shailya Todkar. In this video, we are going to learn a prose that is the Happy Prince. Let us begin with the prose. But don't forget to subscribe my channel by pressing the bell icon so you may get the notifications of my new videos. This prose is written by Oscar Wilde. He was born in 1854 in Dublin and died in 1900 in Paris, France. He was an Irish poet and dramatist. His reputation rests on only his novel, The Picture of a Dorian Gray. He has written two comic masterpieces. One is The Lady Windermere's Fan and the second one is The Importance of Being Earnest. He was a spokesman for the late 19th century aesthetic movement in England, which advocated art for art's sake. In 1888, he published The Happy Prince and Other Tales, which is a collection of the prose poems and fairy tales. The present prose, that is The Happy Prince, has been taken from the same collection of the prose. So friends, let us see what is it about. In the beginning itself, we come to know that in a square or a chowk of a town, on a very tall column, a statue has been set up. And that statue is of the Happy Prince. The statue is a very grand, huge and beautiful because it is covered with the fine gold. So you can imagine that the gold glitters, so it looks so beautiful. But it is not enough, friends. There are the two sapphires in the eyes of the statue and one red ruby studded in the sword hilt. So the sapphires, red ruby and gold enhance the beauty of the statue. All the people admire the statue. They think that it is a source of inspiration and a symbol of the happiness. So they quote the statue in their own situations. In the beginning of the prose itself, we see that how the people make the comments and the statements about the statue. One of the town councillors looking towards the statue says that he looks as beautiful as weathercock. He is not genuine because he wants to make the impression upon the people that he has artistic taste. So he says in the second moment, but it is a useless. He wants to show that he is not unpractical man. Though he is not genuine in his statements, but there are the many people, they are genuine. They think that this is a really source of inspiration and they want to give the lessons to their own children through the example of this statue. One sensible mother, consoling to her child who was crying for the moon, says that, why can't you be like the Happy Prince? So she wants to tell him that the Happy Prince never cries for anything and he is always happy and you should be like the Happy Prince. There is one more example where we see that a disappointed man looking towards the statue says that, I am glad there is someone in this world who is quite happy. So see, he is a disappointed, but he says, I am glad. It means that looking towards the statue, he gets the happiness and definitely it is going to help him come out of the disappointment. There is one more example where we see that how the children also have the impression about the statue. The children coming out of the cathedral, looking towards the statue, say that he looks just like an angel. The mathematical master looking towards them asks that, you haven't seen any angel and how can you say that he looks like an angel? But the children give answer that they have seen in their own dream. It means that the children also get the inspiration from the statue and they have the different kind of a perception about the statue. So in this way we have some examples how the people praise the statue, admire the statue and they think about this statue. So there is another character introduced by Oscar Wilde and that is a little bird called Swallow, who had been left behind by his friends 6 weeks ago, who had gone to Egypt. And he was in love with the most beautiful bird called the reed. That's why he couldn't go with them. Now he is at the place where that statue has been set up. But he met the reed in the last spring. When he was chasing a yellow big moth, he came across the reed and thought that she is the most beautiful and he wanted to make love to her. So he proposed her saying, shall I love you? And she made just a low bow. He thought she accepted, she gave consent. So he flew round and round her and also flapped his wings on the water and made the ripples. So he was so happy. And this courtship lasted through all the summer. His friends thought that it is ridiculous because she has no money and she has many relations. And they knew that this relationship will not last longer. And when it was the time of the autumn, they flew to Egypt and he didn't go with them. He wanted to stay with the reed. He wanted to make love, so he stayed there. But as time passed, he felt loneliness and he also didn't get the same response once the reed used to give. So he thought she is a coquette and he wanted to go to Egypt now because he likes traveling. But he thought that she is my wife and I should ask her, she may also come with him. And when he asked her, will you come with me? That time she didn't give any answer. It means that she wanted to stay there. She had an attachment for that place. So he said her goodbye and flew away from the place. And he is now on his way to Egypt, but at the night time he comes to the place where that statue has been set up. It is the time of the night and he wants to take the rest. So he tries to find the proper and suitable place for him to take a rest. And the place between the two legs of the statue is the proper one, he thinks that. And he thinks he will get the fresh air there. So he comes down and sits in between the two legs of the statue. And he finds that it is a very beautiful place. He says that I have got a golden bedroom. He is going to enjoy the place. He is preparing to go to bed and he is about to put his head under a wing. There is a fall of a big drop of water on his body. He wonders, there is no single cloud in the sky and still it's raining. All the stars are bright and clear. So he thinks that it is a dreadful atmosphere in the north of Europe. And at the same time there is a fall of the second drop of water on his body. And then he thinks that this statue is useless. It cannot protect him from the rain. So he should find another place where he can protect himself from the rain. He is about to fly. He is about to move from that place. There is a fall of the third drop of water on his body. He sees up in the moonlight. He sees the beautiful face of the statue. But there are the tears in the eyes of the statue. So he feels pity for the statue. And those tears rolling over the cheeks and coming down to his body. He doesn't understand who is he. So he asks the question, who are you? And he gets the answer, I am the happy prince. And he asks the second question, why are you crying? And you have quite drenched me. The happy prince gives the answer. When I was alive, I had a human heart. I lived in the palace of the Sanssouci. I played with my friends in the garden, which was surrounded by a very big and tall wall. I never knew what was the world beyond that wall, and I never thought about that. I was happy, so the courtiers used to call me the happy prince. If the pleasure was happiness, then I was really happy. I lived happily, but when I died, I was set up here by the people, from where I can see the ugliness and the poverty and the sufferings of the people of this town. So the statue cannot tolerate the sufferings and the poverty of the people of that town. He wants to help the people. And so he says to the swallow, 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 will you stay one night longer here with me and be my messenger? And he also tells to the swallow that from here he can see a woman who is sitting at a table in a room. And she is making an embroidery on a satin gown. And her child is lying in the bed in the room of the corner, who has a fever, who is asking and crying for oranges. But that woman cannot give oranges to him because she doesn't have money. She is a poor and she has only the river water. So he asks the swallow, will you help that child? And the swallow gives answer, already his friends have gone to Egypt. And the another thing is that he doesn't like the children, because last summer he experienced them. The children used to throw the stones at him, though he didn't get hurt by their stones, but the disrespect they showed, so he doesn't like them. But when the little swallow says that the happy prince is very sad, he is ready to become a messenger of the happy prince. Happy prince says him thank you and asks him to take out the red ruby from the sword hilt. The little swallow takes out the red ruby from the sword hilt. He takes in his beak and flies over the city and goes to the room where that woman is sitting. He sees through the window of that room. The woman is tired. Her fingers got hurt by the needle. And he enters through that window and puts that ruby on the table and flies around the bed of that little child. Giving the ear to him, the child feels cold and he says to himself in a sleep, I must be getting better now. The little swallow comes back to the statue, that is the happy prince, and tells everything whatever has happened. He says that I am quite warm, though it is cold. The happy prince says him that it is your good action makes you to feel the warmth. So friends, it is a very important in our life also to help the other people. If we help the other people, it gives the definitely the different kind of the happiness in our life. So we should do that. In the next morning, the little swallow wakes up, he goes down to the river. There is a professor of ornithology. Ornithology, it is the scientific study of the bird. So he sees the little swallow, because in winter season the little swallow cannot be seen in that area or anywhere cannot be seen, because they cannot survive in winter season. And he gets wondered by seeing the swallow. So he writes a long letter to the local newspaper. The swallow comes back to the happy prince and says that tonight he is going to Egypt, but the happy prince doesn't want him to go to Egypt because he wants to help the people who are suffering from poverty and hunger. So he requests, swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not stay with me one night longer? And continues, he can see a writer in his room sitting at a desk. There is a heap of papers, and one director has asked him to complete a play for the theatre. But he cannot complete because he is suffering from the hunger. He doesn't have food. And he cannot protect himself from cold. He doesn't have fire. So will you help that person? But the swallow doesn't agree with him. He doesn't want to stay there longer. He says that his friends are already gone and they are going to visit to the second waterfall. So he has to go. But at the request of the happy prince, he agrees. But when he says that where is the second ruby, the happy prince says that there is no second ruby. So he can take out the sapphire from his eye and give it to that writer. He doesn't agree with that. But the happy prince says him that it is my order and you should take it out. The swallow cries, but he takes out this and goes to that writer, enters through that room and puts that sapphire on the flowers of violet. Comes back. The writer wakes up and sees that there is a sapphire. He becomes happy and thinks that people started appreciating him. In the morning, the swallow wakes up and goes to the different places. When he comes back, he says to the happy prince, tonight he is going to Egypt. But the happy prince once again requests him, swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not stay with me one night longer? And he says that his friends are building nest in Egypt. So he has to go to Egypt. But once again he requests to stay there and tells him that in a square there is a little girl, she is a match girl and she has let her matches fall in the gutter. And if she goes without money to her home, her father will beat her. So I want to help her. Take out the sapphire from my eye and give it to that girl. But the swallow doesn't want to take out the second sapphire. He knows that if he does that, what will happen. But the happy prince says that it is his order and he should follow. So he takes out the sapphire and goes to that girl and puts on her palm. She doesn't understand what is this. She thinks that it is just a piece of a glass. But she feels that it is a sparkling one. So she runs towards her home saying that what a beautiful glass she has. When the little bird comes back to the happy prince, says that now he is not going anywhere. He will stay with him forever because he has totally become a blind. But the happy prince says that it is the time now he has to go to Egypt. But he is not ready to go and he sleeps at the feet of the prince. In the next morning, the little star wakes up and sits on the shoulder of the happy prince. And he tells the different kinds of the stories to the happy prince because he has visited to the different countries and he has many stories with him. So he tells the stories to him. But the happy prince is not happy with these stories. He wants to know that what is going on in his city, what is going on with his people. So he asks to the swallow that fly over the city and come with the information about the people, what is going on there. So with the request of the happy prince, the swallow flies over the city and says that the rich people are very happy. But the people who are very poor, beggar, they are sitting at the gate of the rich people because they don't have the food. So they may expect that they may get the foods from the rich people. And also he says that there are the many children, those are on the streets and they don't have the clothes on their bodies. And one sight is there, when he flies over the city, he sees under a bridge, there are the two children trying to make their bodies warm, putting their arms in each other. There is a guard, watchman, he says to them that they should leave this place. They should not stay under this praise. And so they go in the rain. The little bird comes back to the happy prince and tells everything about the city. The happy prince says him that you should take leaf by leaf of my body. When he asks him to do this, he takes out leaf by leaf of his body and he gives to the people who are in need. So people become happy. The statue is also happy. That means that the happy prince is also happy while seeing or while listening about the people, how they are happy. Because they get the food, they get the clothes, and they can fulfill their basic needs. The winter is at its extreme. The atmosphere is growing colder and colder. The snow comes and then the frost. And all roads look like they are built by the silver. In such a cold atmosphere, it is difficult for the little bird to survive. So he flaps his wings to keep his body warm, and he collects some crumbs of the bread from the door of the bakery. But he knows that he is not going to survive longer. He comes to the happy prince, sits on the shoulder and says in ear, "Goodbye, and let me kiss on your hand." The happy prince becomes happy because he thinks that the swallow is going to Egypt. And so he says to him that you have stayed here longer, so instead of kissing on my hand, you should kiss on my lips. But the little swallow says that he is not going to Egypt, but he is going to the house of the death. Kisses on the lips of the happy prince and falls at the feet of the statue. At the same time, there is a sound of the crack inside the heart of the statue. And in the next morning, when the mayor comes with his counselors, he says that the statue is now shabby. It doesn't look that much beautiful as it was looking once. So he thinks that now it is useless, and the counselors follow him. And he says there is a little bird died at the feet of the statue. And he says that the bird should not be allowed to die here. And he calls a meeting of the counselors corporation. And in the meeting they decide that the statue should be broken and the another statue should be set up, and the statue should be of the mayor according to himself. But the councillors say that the statue should be of their own. So that's why there is a quarrel among themselves. And when the statue is being melted, at that time the heart cannot be melted. And so that's why they throw the heart of the statue with body of the swallow in the garbage. But in the heaven, God asked two angels to go and bring the two precious things from the city. The angel comes to the city and picks up these two things. That is the one body of the statue and another is the heart of the happy prince. And he takes to the heaven. God becomes very happy with him. And he knows that these are the two precious things of the city. So he says that the little bird will stay in his garden of the paradise and he will sing there forever. And the happy prince will stay in the city of gold and he will be there to praise me forever. So friends, Oscar Wilde gives a message to we people that we should see the inner beauty of the human being. But we people see only the outer and the superficial beauty of the human being. And that is not important according to Oscar Wilde. And the another thing is that whenever there is a possible to we people that we should help the other people, those who are in need, those who are suffering from the poverty or any kinds of the problems they have. Friends, here we see that even the people don't understand the beauty of the statue, beauty of the heart of that statue and the beauty of the swallow. But God understands it. So that's why whatever the beautiful is there, the God takes it to heaven. So he takes the heart of the happy prince and body of the swallow. In this way, we get the messages from this prose. Friends, thank you for watching my video.